Please welcome our last speaker of the day, Miss Alex Costantino.
I landed on my head with nothing to brace the fall. Moments before, I had been standing on my tiptoes at the end of the runway. I had a gut feeling something wasn't right. I started down the runway at full speed. I pushed off the springboard with my feet, flipping backwards blindly to the vaulting table. As my arms and back reached for the vault, I panicked. My body froze. I landed on my head with nothing to brace the fall, and in that moment, I knew it was all over. I laid on the table as my coaches looked down on me, shaking their heads with a look of worry and acknowledgement of what the next conversation with my doctor would be. I knew my life as a gymnast was over. For over half my life, I spent practically every day in the gym or traveling the country competing, surrounded by my second family, my role models, my best friends. All of my energy and determination was put into becoming the best gymnast I could be. Gymnastics was my distraction from all else going on in the world. It was my life. I was always known to be quiet and shy to my peers in school. I didn't socialize with my classmates much outside of school. My teammates were my best friends. They would laugh in disbelief when I told them in school I was the shy girl. Inside the gym, I was never quiet. I was a totally different person. When all that was taken away from me, my life turned upside down. My coach abandoned me. She was mad and angry at the situation and took it out on me. I lost my role model, my second mother, and my rock in my life. I felt as if I had lost everything. I did not know where I belonged, who to lean on in a time of need, what sports to play, and what to do with all the free time I suddenly gained. My middle school teacher had tried for the previous 2 years to get me to join the cross country and track team. I was always persistent about my answer. I didn't have the time. I never enjoyed running. Before my injury, I tried hockey, lacrosse, dance, basketball, and soccer. I couldn't even give those another shot because I was restricted from contact sports. When my teacher asked me again, the timing was right. I finally decided to give cross country a try. I remember that very first practice. I felt like a fish out of water. I didn't want to start over. I longed for the comfort of the gym, my second home since I was 3 years old. Having this pause in my life, this moment in time when I felt lost, forced me to learn who I was. I was no longer a gymnast, but now who was I? The other part of what made me who I was, a sister alongside 3 brothers. It was during this time of figuring out what to do next and who I was, which forced me to spend more time at home, more time with my siblings. During this time, I learned how much being the only girl impacted me and my identity. Even before my youngest brother, Timmy, was born, and my family and friends can back me up on this one, I was picked on, teamed up against, and left out constantly by Nathan and Matt. Nathan and Matt are what you call Irish twins. They were inseparable. Same friends, same sport, same clothes, same bedroom. And then there was me. You may not believe me when I say this, but when I was younger, I was very sensitive towards the fact that I didn't fit in with them. Some highlights of these times that haunt me to this day. My family and I were down in Newport touring the old mansions. Standing outside, Nate and Matt were taking photos. I wanted to get in one with them, so I slowly made my way to sneak in beside them. Keeping in mind there were crowds of people all around us, but they told me to get out. I tried to keep sneaking back in, but that ended shortly after I started crying. At this point, we had caused a huge scene like we usually did. I ended up getting one with my dad, but was not thrilled about it. That photo still haunts me to this day, of my puffy eyes and extremely upset that I couldn't be a part of their special bond. On vacation in South Carolina, my family and I were walking on the beach, and I was being picked on for being too weak. My mom always likes to defend me by saying she can probably do more push-ups than both of you, even though we all know I can't. So what did we do? We got on the sand surrounded by crowds of people on the beach as the 4 of us started doing push-ups, and my mom counted. I was known as the house tattletale. I would go crying to my parents, blabbing about what they did. But over the years, I learned to not tattle. I started to fight my own fight. Being picked on or teamed up against, Dawn, I used to get so mad, but now I have learned to embrace it and give it back to them. However, nowadays we don't really have a reason to fight. I truly believe that all these years, my brothers were just challenging me to teach me to be tough, because now I'm on the other side and I have witnessed this is how they treat Timmy. One night when we were in quarantine, we were having family dinner and Timmy brought out his Nerf guns as the rest of us sat at the table watching Matt and Tim run around the house. Brody, our dog, got all wild up and Nathan began chasing Brody around, going towards Timmy, teasing him. As Timmy ran away in fear of Nathan, his big scary persona, I got up from the dinner table and ran to separate Nathan and Timmy. I jumped on Nate's back as Timmy ran, and I then grabbed Timmy and put him on my back as I was using his legs as weapons to fight off Nathan. It was all good sibling rivalry, but my mom gets all protective and afraid someone's going to get hurt, so she tries to stop it all. Imagine that, the four of us against her, not so sure she's got a chance. I looked her in the eyes and said, "Mom, we aren't going to hurt each other, we were just messing around." Nathan paused and began to say a similar statement. "You really think we're actually going to hurt each other? That's just not going to happen." In that moment, I think she realized how much we have bonded over the years and how much we actually take care of one another. In fact, how much we've all grown. I believe many things about how my brothers treated me throughout the years that shaped me. They never treated me as a girl, they treated me as someone who should put up with their antics and have tough emotions and not be scathed by them. I had a bunch of my teammates over one day after practice. We're all up in the attic as I heard the boys yell attack and throw their axe up the stairs as it exploded. We all ran downstairs. The smell of the axe was super strong and made me feel sick. As you probably can imagine, I got so mad. I told on them to my parents. The boys got upset with me for tattling, and I remember them saying, "Alex, you can't take it. Just stop crying. You are such a girl." Those words stuck with me in future encounters with them. I wanted to earn their respect. As kids, we never sat and watched movies or listened to music. I may not have watched High School Musical or any typical girly movies and shows. We were active. We were always outside playing and running around in any type of weather and at all hours of the day. We would bike, build forts in the woods, sled, swim, play capture the flag, make trails, or play sports. I was always up for an adventure, no matter what it entailed. Even if it ended up in an emergency hospital trips to get my forehead and nose glued or end in a serious concussion. I would not have wanted it any other way. Gymnastics and what I thought was my identity was taken away from me. But I was able to take this time to pause and evaluate the other traits that made me who I am. I am and was more than a gymnast. I have learned that so many parts of my life have shaped me, but an important role was my part in our family. Being the only girl is what has made me who I am. The toughness and grit I have gained that translate to my competitiveness, determination, and willingness to try almost about everything. I have learned to appreciate my brothers that have shaped me. Without them, I would have not have found such fun and adventure and the things that I wouldn't have experienced in my life without them. My competitiveness, whether that's viciously playing 3v3 basketball with them, having snowball fights, or teaming up on our mom, making her crazy, has made me who I am today. They have taught me to stand up for myself and to not let others walk all over me, when to fight back or when to let it go, when to be tough and pretend like nothing is wrong, and when to let my emotions in. They have my back and I have theirs. Moving from gymnastics towards running, a sport that requires even more mental toughness and drive, has been an important part of me. I believe my brothers prepared me for this sport, prepared me to not give up and to stay tough even when I'm out there alone in the tracker course. I have to rely on myself to get me through. Standing on the starting line, squished between opponents and teammates as the gun is held in the air. My heart beats out of my chest. The same feeling I would get standing on the edge of the vault runway saluting the judge, as well as the same feeling in the early days when I would have to stand up to my older brothers to make them believe I was just as tough as them. These moments gave me confidence and belief in myself that I will not give up and I will find success no matter what I am faced with in life. Spending hours alone running mile after mile has given me many moments to reflect on my life experiences, to evaluate the past and look forward to the future. Discovering running has been a turning point for me. It has helped me to realize how much gymnastics and my brothers have shaped me into the person I am today, how much they've influenced me and provided me with positive outcomes in my life. I am now able to understand how things happen for a reason and people are put into your life for reasons too.